Hello and welcome to the 56th Tech Talk today. It was a long time since we had the last talk, so happy to see you all here. And if you have any comments or you have anything you want to say and share, please do. We'll have you here. Oh, yeah. So, basically, sorry about that. I had a bit of a glitch here. So, hi everyone, and welcome again. So, if you have anything to say, ask, and say a hi, a shout out here, you can be free to show us here on the chat. You can tell that I didn't do this for a year now. With me today is Mac and Adam. Hi, Mac. Hi, Adam.
Hello, hi.
Hello.
So, yes. So can you people like I think know about me a bit? Like I've done my fair share of these tech talks. Usually did like the code presentation things and a bit of like a workshopy type of approach here on live streams. But I do kind of like provider relationships building and a bit of Q&A, and we do a lot of stuff here in 46Alex, all of us. But can you share a bit about what you do, Mac? For the audience, like a minute or two.
Sure. I'm
Keep it under a minute.
under a minute. That should be easy. I'm a developer. I write code. I'm a code monkey.
Nice.
So what do I do? Yeah. I mean, we're a small company, so it's kind of like you just kind of do what you need to do. So it's a bit of coding, a bit of sysadmin stuff. A bit of customer projects, like a bit of everything. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, mostly Python.
Adam, what about you? What's your day-to-day life in 46 Elks?
Yeah, like Max said, we are a small company, so but my role is in sales. So I help our company business customers to use our API. So
Nice.
that's in short.
Nice. You both do so much more, and one could do just one episode on all of this, but we'll keep it short for today. Yeah, so today we're going to talk about RCS, and I call it like the RCS versus the Giants, but we have a sort of a communication issue evolving now in our industry, where there's a lot of examples or a lot of applications now that you can use to communicate. I'm talking peer to peer, right? With your friends, family, etc. And we are facing 8 or 9 of these applications we have to use on a daily base or weekly base to reach out to certain people. And it's becoming a bit of a problem when you take I would say like the client's perspective, the end client's perspective, right? How do you all feel about the fact that we all kind of gotten used to using 6 or 7 apps to communicate with our family and friends? What do you feel, both of you? You can start, Adam, if you want.
Yeah, good question. I don't know. I have gotten used to it now, so I don't know what's the other side, how it could look like by just using one channel, for example, or 2 channels. Like you mentioned, I am using today like WhatsApp, Telegram, and you have the Messenger, and I use iMessage on iPhone, and you have SMS. So it's a bunch of different channels, and like I have gotten used to it. So I don't know the option, how it could look like.
Interesting. Yeah. What about you, Mac?
Yeah, so for me, I don't mind that much having different apps for like close friends or like, you have some people you video call, some people you just voice call, some people you message, and yeah, I don't mind having iMessage, Telegram, whatever, for that. it's super annoying, like with people that you're not close with, but you kind of want to keep in contact. And it's like, well, I have like one contact on Signal right now that I need, so I need to have Signal installed just to talk to that one person. And they obviously love Signal because, you know, if you have Signal, you love Signal, basically. So it's a pain in that regard. But yeah.
Especially when you look at the beginnings of 2000, right, or something like 10 years. I would even say like 10-ish years ago. You perhaps had less apps, right? You could talk with other people with, and I would say people primarily used maybe Skype to chat when they sat down on the desktop, or they would use some other IRCs or whatever it was, ICQs. There was a lot of options, but desktop wise. But mobile, and especially like years ago, we had smartphones. I think we mostly used iMessages, if my messages was a thing back then, and SMS, right? To talk with other people. It's interesting how all of these things have really exploded in the last 10 years. And now we from the industry are kind of looking into this explosion and trying to have this omni-channel approach, right? But to even us individually are adapting to this omni-channel, right? You said that you just installed one app to be able to communicate to one person, and I only can assume that businesses think that way also. Uh, is that the way to go in the long run? What is your, have you had any thinking and thoughts about like what would you like to have in the future from kind of a more of a developer perspective, right? And industry perspective.
I mean,
Like Mac, what, yeah.
For me, it's like, so I don't like the feeling of being locked in to Apple and Google. Like, I want a future where we have a Linux one, but like, I can't do that if like if the apps, like if you need an Android app or an iOS app, like I can't switch to Android if my entire family is on iOS because there's a group chat on iMessage. So from that perspective, yeah, I would love to. I don't like being locked in. Like, I think that you should have the freedom to choose. If you want to use Signal, you want to use Telegram, you want to use whatever you want. Fantastic. You should have that choice. But don't force me to make that choice. Right? I think that's what's so great about email. Like, email just like, you know, you can have whatever client you want. You want to use Gmail, fantastic. You want to use a native client, that's great. You want to sit in the terminal, you can do that too. Yeah, I don't like being locked in.
What do you feel, Adam? Like about the whole you need to adapt and kind of put that business perspective also, right? Because businesses are following that. They know, they're looking at their surroundings, their family and friends. And they're like, oh, well, if I want to reach out to all of these clients, right? I'm looking at the data, and the data shows that the adoption for WhatsApp in Germany is like 40+%. Like 40+% of smartphone users in Germany are using WhatsApp, right? So they will adapt to that. So how do you like? What's your perspective from like your? So I'm very glad that Mac shared his more of a developer perspective, which is like let's all go to Linux. But like, can you share a bit of your perspective here also?
I think yeah. I think today you need to be flexible. Like you mentioned, like for some markets, some channels are more important than others. But at the same time, you can't exclude a channel just because the other channel have like the majority of the users. So I think the businesses needs to have a supplier that could give them that flexibility. And one question I like thought about now directly, like why haven't the telco market reacted to this omni-channel world? Like, what do you think? Like, why have the telcos been kind of slow to adapt?
My thought is that operators basically face complex regulation requirements that these apps don't, and that's kind of the part of the problem, because we have privacy issues, right, with these apps. We have loads of, well, there, when you look at terms and conditions, like, and when you read the privacy and the legal part of it, it seems fine, but you have loads of cases, real life cases, incidents where we see over and over again that there is a breach of privacy happening, and there is a breach of there is a trust issue happening in like the law, EU law, privacy law, which is really regulated, uh, basically states that a lot of things have to remain within the EU, uh, where this isn't the case with some of these apps. So I think that the part of why the reaction is slow-ish is because, well, operators tend to react slowly to the market. That's simply a fact. They're larger. They observe things developing in the future. They have to bring a budget to it. They have to develop strategically. But also, well, Meta can operate without outside telecom regulations, and that is kind of their advantage, right? I'm singling out Meta because we're talking about WhatsApp right here, but I don't know if that's their advantage in the long run, right? So I'm simply wondering how come that WhatsApp has succeeded in the business realm so much. We maybe not in Sweden as much, maybe not in Nordics as much, but we're seeing it outside of the Nordics. We're seeing it in Germany. We're seeing it in other parts, in other countries in the EU, where WhatsApp is taking over A2P communication. So, like, let's call it business communication. Why do you feel? How do you feel? And why do you feel this is happening? Why do you feel this is true? Like Mac, for example, is it because like Meta has gone their way to adapt more to developer experience, or what's up? What's up?
I think it's maybe partially developer experience. Maybe.
Mhm.
I think for the most part, it's just like you want to be where the users are. Like you want to give people a good experience. And I'm not sure I would frame it as developer experience, but I think it's just kind of easier. You know what I mean? Like, it's like you talk about, like, if we're talking about SMS, you have like 140 characters, but not if you use an emoji, because then and then if you like you want
A lot
to
of
send a link,
complexities.
yeah, it's like there's a bunch of complexities, and like WhatsApp feels a bit more. There's a web native, or whatever you want to call it. Like,
Yeah, it's an easy solution.
Yeah,
Easier.
but I think the big thing is just like people use WhatsApp. Like it works. It's so and yeah, I'm not sure what the pricing is for WhatsApp.
They did this summer. They leveled it out the same price as SMS, basically, and they even dipped it a little bit more.
Yep.
This was like a very aggressive strategy now for summer.
Yep. So
Yeah.
it's, I don't know. I think the big thing is people just want to be where the users are. You want to be able to give them a good experience. Like, if you look at WhatsApp, you can open a conversation, have SMS back and forth, and it just kind of works. Whereas with SMS, it's like, oh, well, you can send SMS, but if you want to receive SMS, you need a phone number, and how do you get that, and how does that scale, and all this stuff. So it's I guess developer experience maybe is better. Maybe.
Adam, what do you feel like?
Like, what
Sorry.
if you compare WhatsApp with SMS, and
And
why?
why do you feel that WhatsApp has succeeded so much? That's kind of like the question here. Again, like the
Mhm.
same with Mac. Like, what's
Yeah,
your
I
take?
think it's like from an A to P view. I think WhatsApp made it really easy for companies to reach people in a channel that they all already use every day. And of course, like WhatsApp have a better user experience than the channels that traditionally are used today to reach the users, like SMS, for example. So I don't know. I think for me it feels more personal than a normal SMS today.
Mhm.
It's a verified sender also.
Mhm.
That's good, and like rich messages. So I can receive a more fun message from a business than I could from an SMS.
I mean, like, I don't know if so if you look at the way people treat email, like there's a ton of people in Sweden that just like never read their email. They maybe even have the app installed, but there's just like a notification bubble of like 5,000 unread. And I guess like if WhatsApp is so prevalent in Germany, but maybe the SMS is the same thing, right? It's just it's something you have to have, but you never open it because it's never anything important. It's just so you're not just paying for the message, you're paying for the fact that it's in WhatsApp. People are guaranteed to open the app and they're guaranteed to see your message. I guess. But
Mm,
Like the thing is, when I look at these cases, there are, the WhatsApp came in because there was a need in the market, right?
mm,
The need in the market is I want to communicate with other people in a rich way, right? Meaning I want to send images, I want to send videos, I want to send links, I want to send galleries of pictures. We all receive those like 50 pictures after an event or a barbecue or whatever, right? Which we cite to 50 pictures. But right, we wanna share a location, right? Hey, I'm here. Like it gave you all of those things. And
mm,
people were like, sure, I don't care. I'll take those on. Is it a horrific app that will just like sell everything right away to the dark web? Not really. Okay, cool. Then I'm cool with it. And sadly, most people don't even ask that question. But they're they're fulfilling the market's need, which is fine and completely fine in my book. But the problem that I'm having is if we are looking at like kind of like the global standard that we want to achieve in communication, is this spontaneous pop-up of different apps, is that the solution for it, right? Do we want to have a standardized approach to rich communication in the world, right? Because now the SMS, you can, if
mm,
someone has a phone number, you can send you can send a message to them. Let's call it a message, right? It is a message. It's not going to be as rich, but it's a message you can communicate. How about that global standard? How do we fix that instead of having these spontaneous Silicon Valley type solutions happening? What are your thoughts on that? Should It seems like it's not something that we can have spontaneously built, because GSM didn't spontaneously happen also. Well, it did, but
well, I think
what,
that when you were
yeah.
talking about why the operators haven't done this, why have they
Mm,
just basically sat around and let Meta and Google and all these companies just eat their cake, basically. And I think a lot of it is like, I mean, Tele2, even if they were to build the best messaging system in the world, it would still really only be for Tele2 customers. And
yeah.
nobody wants a messaging system for Tele2. Like, I don't want because then I'm stuck there again with like, I have this great experience with people that have Tele2. And then if I talk to someone with a telephone, I need to use SMS. So like, if the operators were going to do this, it would need to have some kind of like global agreement, or at least like in market agreement of how to do this. And I think that's just like fundamentally a harder problem than we are one team. Our goal is just to conquer the market and go, right? It's really hard to agree on anything. So
So my take is, what is your take on them, on like the global standardization kind of effort, right?
Yeah, I think it would like if operators had tried to build something like WhatsApp, what would have stopped them? And the answer to that question is, I think, many answers. Like two different type of focus. One is more like you need to follow strict rules, and your focus point is more on delivery networks, building infrastructures, and not really user experience. So I think it's like two different worlds, and at the same time you need to bring everyone together, right? Like if Tele2 or Telia or whatever operator would try to build something like this that could be used globally, it would be almost like trying to do magic. You need to bring everyone together. And that's not the case for Meta, for example, with WhatsApp.
But
I think
you
a lot of
brought up a
the
good,
sorry.
yeah.
Go on.
But one thing, like, we have witnessed 5G popping up everywhere almost in the world, like in a lot of places. It became basically, I would say basically, for most of the world that already had mobile access, it became you can access it now, right? It wasn't like, oh, we're going to wait for 20 years for 5G. No, like it is happening. It took like 5-ish years, but like you have it now almost in every corner of Europe. Let's talk about Europe for now. So we can't say that the operators are responding to these requirements in the market, right? More throughput, better connectivity, more like infrastructure, right? So, like, one would ask themselves, is are the telecoms basically going to go into that RCS route and similar technologies that could unify the whole world in a new messaging experience? Or they will perhaps pivot in providing backend infrastructure, right? Or for these services like WhatsApp and such. Maybe that's an approach they want to take. Like it seems as though for now. But Mac, you wanted to comment on something before this, so we can.
Yeah, it's on the same theme. So if you look at SMS, if you look at MMS, if you look at 5G, like a lot of these things have been like introduced as part of some kind of monopoly, right? Like if you want to talk to someone on their phone, you have to call them like 20 years ago. There's no like free market of like, oh, I'm gonna use the Tele2 app, or am I going to use like, no, it's just like you have a phone, your phone uses the network, this is how you call, this is how you write to people, you write an SMS. And they've never really had to compete in the space ever. And it's much easier to push things through. It's the same with 5G. What you're going to do? Like, you're not going to use 5G? Like, I mean, you kind of have to, right? And this is something completely different. And I think that it's good, right? We want to be able to use different apps. We want to be able to use, we don't want the operators to own the user experience for the next 20 years. But it would be nice if there was like a better base level than what exists right now.
Nice perspective.
Um,
So you, if I'm reading you correctly, if what you're saying, there could be a possibility that telecoms stick to what they do best, and that is regulation, right? Which has to happen, otherwise we would have a mess. Building infrastructure, providing support, like being the back end, right? The backbone, let's put it, of the new rise of communication. Maybe that's happening, like in this
Mm.
space.
Yeah, I mean,
What do you feel?
it's
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah. I wanted to catch Adam's take a bit here. If you have
Yeah,
something in mind.
exactly. Like it's interesting that operators can work together to make, for example, 5G global. But I think it's again the same answer. Why they can do that is because operators can cooperate on technology. But we're talking more about like user experience and services, and that could be a big difference.
Mhm.
So yeah, 5G is more about infrastructure, and what we're talking about is more about a service and a user experience, and that they need to be able to compete on.
Yeah, it's very interesting. We do have some insights on the, well, I would say, frustration that operators face. Some want to really bring this forward. They do know that they have to get all together and figure out how to provide RCS for the Nordics, right?
Mm,
They know that not providing any solution will create a breeding ground, for the lack of a better word, for, well, other legitimate messaging apps to appear. It's fine, right? You have to fill the void. Um, I feel like there's going to be some developments in 2026 about this, and it's going to prioritize more regulation and more security, which will probably appeal to loads of customers. But what I'm wondering about is what happens in the meantime, right? How do we make that change from this point where we have kind of a wild west now in the messaging world when it comes to peer to peer, at least a lot, and that new future of global standard. Do you feel like it's going to take recruitment of first adopters, right? Because if you want to put RCS into a company, you need to have a person like Mac,
mm,
well, at least interested in it. And I guess I'm talking in your name, Mac, but like, what would you like to have in this RCS or whatever it is? Let's call it a global standard, a new global standard. What would you like to have, you know, like in order for you to use it and say, whoa, this makes a million% sense, I'm going to use it. How do you envision it? Like, it's a big ask, I know, like for a short time we have.
I mean, I just want an easy life, you know.
Mm, mm,
I think that a lot of the times when, so if you talk about developer experience, I want the developer experience to match what's in my brain. I want
mm.
to send a message to this person. Then that should be the way we talk about it in the actual integration as well. Not, oh, I need to spin up a conversation and I need to do this, and like, no, just like keep it simple. I don't care about the intricate detail. I mean, I do because I work at 46 Hours. But if I'm a regular, I'm a regular guy.
Yeah.
I don't care about the intricate details of how SMS. I don't want to count characters. I don't care about messaging coding. I don't care about. Just give me a map the interface to what I already understand. Give me that. I would say, yeah. And yeah, from like a business perspective, or even just like a hacker's perspective, yeah, I don't want like all my communication to go through Facebook or Meta. Like that's crazy. Um, so yeah, if there was like a decentralized standard, or at least yeah, like an open standard at least, so I can like switch between providers. If that's a terrible
Well,
answer, but
that,
it's basically
no, it's not
mm,
like, that's RCS, but nobody just polished it and made it friendly for
Mm.
early adopters, is my opinion, right?
Yeah.
Right, you're the you're the early adopter, right? You could be, right? I don't know if you are, but like you could pick up on a technology that is kind of in its infancy, not fully developed, and you could be like, yeah, yeah, I see it, I'll take this. Like there's a community around it, I think this will grow. Like that happened with Python like 20 years ago or something, right? People were like, Python, what? I won't use that. But it grew, it had community, and now
I
it's like
don't
a
think it's the
standard.
same. I don't think that's the same thing because I think it's more like early Bitcoin. Okay, cool. We have
Oh,
this magic internet money. What can I do with it? Nothing. Like it's you can send it to each other if you also have this magic internet money. But like, what do I do with it? Like it's different. It's for RCS to be good for me, then I need to be able to send RCS messages. And if I can't do that, then it's useless, right?
Mm.
I need adoption. I can't because then I'm the guy saying, "Oh, you just need to install, you use Android or
yeah,
like it's then we're back to just install Signal,
yeah, stack on
just
a stack on
install
a stack.
WhatsApp." Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
What is your take, Adam? Like
No,
all
I think I would need something as open like SMS, but rich like Telegram, WhatsApp, whatever, and that's RCS. So I think RCS is the way to go. That's reachable in the near future. But
we yeah,
mm,
go ahead.
no. It was
It's
that.
it's it's we already have, and we can talk about this in our next talks, and touch on it a bit more in detail. But we already have application of RCS usage. For example, China has implemented RCS fully. They managed to do it. There was basically a call out from the higher ups in China government and said,
Mm,
"Hey, we need a standard now. We don't want to use 6 million apps. We want a standard that regulates everything. What's the best choice out there? Well, it seems as though this protocol works best. Cool. Let's adapt it and make it work for ourselves." That's one of the reasons why Apple went into that space a lot. Now they were really reluctant going into RCS, but that made them go further. So we can talk about those things a bit more, but like it's good to kind of just go through the basics of why don't we have a global 2.0 standard for rich communication, or even like 1.0. It's just for rich communication. So yeah,
Okay,
go
so
ahead.
we kind of do though, right? I mean,
Mm,
we have email, we have
yeah,
MMS. Like,
yeah.
I mean, you could implement this like rich communication. It's basically like every phone number gets an email inbox, and in the background is just email sent back and forth. You could do that. We have
Listen,
MMS.
yeah, yeah.
Like, yeah, I mean, it feels like you can't ignore the fact that we have all these like more or less failures, right? I mean, why don't people use MMS? Why are people still sending SMS and not MMS? We have
mm.
images, we have video, we have like, I mean, why not just bump the protocol to support more data, higher quality images, instead of building out this entire infrastructure for RCS? Like, I just don't get whether in a world where MMS failed, why would RCS succeed?
I, I think I know where it stems from, and this is just a theory.
Mm.
When SMS was developed, it was so close. There weren't a lot of cell phone towers in the world. There weren't a lot of users in the world, and there was this. Here you go. This is this technology. It works on this way. There's an SS7 something happening. Never mind. Just use it. And then it got like cloned right around the world, and everyone adopted that standard. It's fine. It happens. Like it works. Uh, we have similar instances of other standards being adopted, but through IP. Then we have like 5G and stuff, right? And we say, how come 5G works so well and we can use it? Well, it's just an upgrade of the same IP communication, right?
Mm.
And this takes another. This is also RCS is also IP, right? One could argue, okay, cool, but it could be that the whole adoption of a global standard for communication happened because, well, there was no good cell tower network at all, and any standard that was there was just used at the time, and it's a harder time to implement a new standard now when you already have networks all around the world. Maybe that's it. I don't know. That's just my
Yeah, I
feeling.
agree. It could be a good timing today. And the answer to your question, Mac, could be that it was a bad timing at that time. Like both the infrastructure and just the adaptation was much harder because of X and Y. And today could be a good timing. I think so.
I worry that because
I'm
I
hopeful.
think from my perspective, MMS kind of failed because it just didn't work. So there was a bunch of people that were like either couldn't send or couldn't receive, and it was like, can I send an MMS to this number? No. And you might feel like I haven't used MMS in a long time. I don't think so. Maybe I have. But my image of MMS is that it's kind of wonky. It kind of doesn't work. I remember having to go in and like edit some settings in the carrier settings on my phone to get to work. And I think it's really, really important that RCS doesn't get the same reputation. Because then it's going to be the same where it's like, oh, well, it kind of works sometimes, but like, why would I use it when I can use WhatsApp? So
Yeah. Cool. I think we can wrap it up. Nice conversation. We can have more of these. And if anyone else watching us wants to participate in these talks, feel free to reach out to us. You can reach out to via help@46elks.com, or you can reach out directly to me on rene@46elks.com. You have the email here. We're really open on having these talks about the future of telecom, or even some other topics you're covering, your use cases, or anything. Well, we had loads of different topics that are even not related to telco that we like to talk about that kind of cover our realm. So, Mac, Adam, thanks for joining us. Thanks for being
Yes,
here.
thank you.
thank you.
Yeah, and thanks everyone for joining us and watching this video. Have a great weekend and talk to you soon. Bye, everyone.
Bye bye.